I think I've been pronouncing VEDA incorrectly. Every person I've heard talk about vlogging every day in April says VEDA, although maybe that's an American thing. Who knows? So yesterday I watched the Amazing Atheist's video on social anxiety, and by yesterday I mean my yesterday, not your yesterday. And I could really relate to what he was saying, because I think I suffer from some form of social anxiety. A lot of what I feel is very similar to what he was describing, in that when I enter a room full of people that I don't know, I instantly assume that most, if not all of them, hate me. Like, as soon as they look at my face, they make some kind of judgment, and then that's it forever. And I'm always hung up about what other people think about me. And what I think they think about me is, like, never good. Even my friends, I always think, oh, I bet they think that I talk too much. Or, you know, I bet they think, you know, I'm ugly, or stupid stuff like that, you know? People keep telling me I have to have confidence and I need to just put myself out there and good things will happen. But it's not good when stuff happens in your life which actually reaffirms your belief that everyone hates you for no reason. Like, it has happened to me like a few times. It happened to me once or twice last year and the year before, when people that I didn't know, like at college, would take the piss out of me. And obviously it would be because of the way I looked. It couldn't have been what I did or my personality, because I've never spoken to them before. For instance, there was this girl who in about January 2013, every time she saw me, she'd like offer me Haribo or some shit. And every time I'd be like, no, I'm okay, thank you, thank you. And then about March, I sort of thought, I'm gonna have to go and like talk to her because this is getting weird now. So I did. I went up to her and I said, hey, you're the girl who's been offering me Haribo like every day for the last 3 months. And she said, yes, that's me. And I said, what's your name? And she replied with a name, and for the purpose of anonymity, let's call her Haribo Girl. So I said, okay, thank you. I had a quick little conversation with her, and she told me some really weird stuff like, you seem interesting, I'd like to get to know you, I really like you. So, you know, 2013 me was like, holy shit, yes, a hot girl really likes me. You know, she thinks I'm really interested. This is brilliant. You know, like my day is better and my year is probably made for me now. I'm a happy man. So I walk back to my seat and I tell my friends and whatever. One of her friends comes up to me and gives me a number, and she said, this is Haribo Girl's number, you need to text her. So I'm like, brilliant, okay, fine, I will. So I go home and I try to text this number, and it doesn't, you know, send. And I spend all weekend neurotically worrying about something, like, what if she's waiting for a text, you know, what will I do? And I was like taking away digits, adding digits, texting random people. It was really weird. So I get back into college, sixth form, on Monday, and I see her and her friend, and I'm like, okay, I want to go up to them and see what's going on. So I do, and I say to her friend, like, you gave me her number, didn't you? And then she looked at me with this sort of look of fear in her eyes, and she was like, oh, I'm really sorry, I'm really sorry. And I said, what do you mean you're sorry? And I looked at Haribo Girl, and she was sniggering. She had like a book in front of her face and to hide her face. And then it clicked, it totally clicked. I was like, wow, this has been one big joke. This is, you're playing me. Like, wow. I'm not too crushed about it now, but like, when that happened, it destroyed me. It sort of pushed me over the edge in a way that it made me feel like the idea of getting to know me was jokeable. You could laugh about that kind of thing. It made me think, like, shit, like, everyone hates me. All these questions started going around in my head, like, why didn't she pick someone else? Why did she pick me? Is it because of what I wear? Is it because of the way I talk? I just had no idea why this happened to me. And that's just like one main example, but there's so many more examples where like people have singled me out, and I have always assumed that it's because there's something wrong with me. Like, I keep on repeating in my head, there is something wrong with me, even though it's irrational. I don't do anything that's out of the normal, but I just think so pessimistically by default that now, whenever I enter a room, as I said, I assume everyone in that room looks at me and is like, oh, look at that motherfucker. I hate him. He's a dick. You know, this way of thinking really impaired my experience at university and Freshers' Week. I got there and it was so difficult to talk to other people because I didn't know anyone. It was impossible to actually make the connections that I really needed to make to have a good first term at university. Social anxiety or neuroticism or whatever it is just crippling in social situations. So TJ, obviously he's not watching this, but I just want to say I very much connect with the Amazing Atheists video. I feel very much the same way and I understand what he's feeling. So I've ended it on a very sort of emotional tone, but I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.